Surprisingly, these two beers lost in their matchups in the last two rounds that they participated in. Well, it's not so surprising for this one, the Tank from Miami, a Playita, German Pilsner or a Czech Pilsner, I'm not sure what it is. But what did surprise me was this one's performance. This generally is a good beer that I've enjoyed every time that I've tasted it. But when I put it up against a Brooklyn Pilsner was noticeably better. There was some kind of flavor or taste to this that just didn't sit well with me at the time. Maybe it's old and got stale and corrupted by light. See, beer is destroyed by light. And even when they put them in brown bottles like this, over time they could get ruined. And what I've noticed with beer that is served or sold in green bottles, it tends to get skunky after a while. That's why almost every Heineken I've had has had a skunky smell and a skunky taste to it, which is why I wasn't crazy about Heineken. But you get a nice fresh Heineken, one out of a can, and it's very good, or decent anyway. Now, this is the Pilsner Urquell here, and as you can see, it's noticeably darker than the Tank or La Playita. This is a Czech Pilsner, and this La Playita is also a Czech Pilsner. At least that's what it said on Total Wine when I bought it. But I'm not sure that when I looked it up on Beer Advocate, it was a German Pilsner. I don't know. What's the difference? I'm not really sure. Other than maybe the German Pilsners use a different type of hops than the Czech Pilsners. I believe the Czech Pilsners use Saaz hops, S-A-A-S, which I don't know what they are. And I think the German Pilsners might use Hallerton or something. I don't know. I don't know. I never claimed to be an expert or a connoisseur. In fact, I'm not qualified to be doing these beer reviews. So let's see. Pilsner Urquell has a score of 82 on Beer Advocate and has an ABV of 4.4. Now, for such a light beer, other than the color, this beer packs a lot of flavor, at least it has in the past. La Playita is a score of an 86, so it's a bit higher than Pilsner Urquell, and it has an ABV of 5.1. So they say that the La Playita is hop accented, where German tradition meets U.S. craft innovation. Well, when I tried this before, I wasn't impressed. I mean, it's okay, but it was the Paulina Pils was better. So I'll take German tradition. Now, Pilsner Urquell, spicy, malty, caramel sweetness, floral, and bready. Well, let's get down to it. I'll mix these up. Let's see if I can remember which one is which based on the recent reviews that I did with each of these. Now, I just don't concentrate on what I'm doing, and I have no idea which one is which. So, don't think that I'm in here in my mind keeping count. I'm not. A slight aroma, barely detectable, but it's there. But I'm not quite sure how to describe it. Maybe florally? It's good. It's tangy. There's kind of a lemony type tang to it. It's fairly sweet, not too bitter, but there is a bit of bitterness there. Oh. Now there is a flavor in here that I don't remember which one of these beers had it, but I didn't care for that flavor. And it might be the Pilsner Urquell, which means that, I don't know, maybe I got a bad batch because I've never had Pilsner Urquell taste as bad as this. It might be a bit spoiled. I don't know, to be honest with you. It's got maybe a bit of a toasty, caramelly aroma. There's definitely a caramel type of flavor in there. Overall, I would describe this as stale. And given that, it's probably, it got maybe exposed to too much light, and therefore it's the Pilsner Urquell that is the one in the bottle. I don't know. I'm giving it to this one because this one is okay, and I was right. The Pilsner Urquell is tasting terrible, and I don't know why, but I do know that I've enjoyed this in the past. So this must be some sort of stale batch or something. I have no idea, but I'll pass on this. Unfortunately, I have 4 more of these I'm going to have to drink. But this just makes no sense. Definitely a malty, caramelly flavor to it, with some hop bitterness, which you would think sounds good, but it's not the case this time. This is okay. This one has some bitterness, and there is a flavor to it which I don't know how to describe, and I'm not crazy about it, but I'll take this one over Pilsner Urquell any day, at least this batch of Pilsner Urquell. I'm just really surprised, but that's the way it goes. This has kind of come all the way from Bohemia. So maybe it got shooken up, maybe it got set out in the heat before it finally arrived in the store. Maybe it sat in the store for a long time. But it's not that good. It's really not that bad. But yeah, it does. I think it probably was sat out in the heat for too long. That might be what it is, which is unfortunate, because now I got 4 more of these bottles that I'm going to have to drink. I'm going to have to compare them to other beers, and it's not going to come out very well for Pilsner Urquell, when it should be coming out on top. But from now on, I'm going to make sure I get it in a can. But even so, if it's exposed to heat for too long, even in a can, it can still be ruined. So I don't know. It's just a guess, just a speculation. So far, Pilsner Urquell is 0 for 2. Tank Playita is 1 and 1. Pilsner Pils is 1 and 0. And what was the other one? Oh, Brooklyn Pils, or Brooklyn Pilsner, is 1 and 0. So the next matchup will be between the Pilsner Pils and the Brooklyn Pilsner. And those were both pretty good beers. All right, thanks for watching as usual. More beer reviews coming up, and let me know what you would like to see me compare. If they have it at my local store, I'll go out and buy it and I'll do a comparison. Preferably you'll pick something, you'll pick 2 beers that are the same style. Don't ask me to compare an IPA to a light beer or something stupid like that. Ask me to compare 2 different Pilsners, or 2 different Doppelbocks, or 2 different Helles, or 2 different American lagers, or something like that, 2 different European lagers. Although you can ask me to compare American lagers to a European lager. I've done that many times. Most of the time the European lager wins, because most of the lagers in America, or at least the mass-produced ones, are adjunct lagers. And that's the worst style of lager, or one of the worst. So go ahead and comment and let me know what you would like to see. And of course, if I don't have it in my local store, I'm more than happy to accept donations. Ship it to me and I'll compare it. The only thing is, you got to be careful, because if you do ship it, especially in the summer, it's going to be exposed to heat before it gets here. Maybe riding in a truck or whatever. I don't know. So maybe that's not a good idea. Thanks.